What's up?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Cool. Guess who is the leading scorer for the Memphis Grizzlies ever?
Mike Conley Jr.
Yeah. Kind of sad.
Ja will break all those records.
Oh yeah, he will. But I'll just ask because Blake sent me this thing with like the leading scores for some of these franchises are like kind of wild when you think about it.
Quiz me on some. Let me see my knowledge.
Like, all right. Let's see. I mean, New Orleans Pelicans.
Still has to be Chris Paul, right?
No.
No. Let me think. Who played a lot? Is it Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of sad. I mean, he had 7 solid years, which is kind of crazy. All those other Charlotte, you probably know Charlotte Hornets.
It can't be Kemba Walker, right?
It's Kemba Walker. Yeah, I know.
These franchises are sad.
The Brooklyn Nets is probably the saddest, but they haven't been around long, so I give them a pass.
Oh, Brooklyn?
Yeah. Just like Brooklyn since they moved.
So not New Jersey.
Jersey.
So just when they moved strictly to Brooklyn. All right, it better not be Darren Williams.
No.
Okay.
I mean, someone worse.
Does the player still currently play in the league? Not with the team. But
yes, he still plays.
Somebody worse.
Team.
Give me current team they're currently on.
I think the Bucks.
Is it Lopez? Oh
no.
Not Brook Lopez.
Brook Lopez. And this next season, it's very close to breaking the record, but so right now Orlando Magic, the leading scorer is Dwight Howard, but it's about to get broken by who?
Vucic or whoever.
That's crazy to think that.
I think I heard he's on the trading block. He might not be Orlando Magic much longer.
Really?
Well, he's like I think he would be a valuable asset for a championship contender.
Yeah. For sure. And these last two, these next two are probably the craziest. Like who people? The Phoenix Suns.
All right, it's not Steve Nash. He wasn't a scorer. I don't think it's Amari Stoudemire. It's not. Is it Amari Stoudemire? No.
It's.
Give me one more guess. Wait, it's not Grant.
I've never heard of this player before.
You've never heard of this player?
I've never. Yeah.
Did he play while we were like born?
No.
Okay, who is this guy?
I mean, I don't know. Old heads have talked about him. Walter Davis.
Never heard of that. that guy doesn't exist.
And then,
What era did he play in?
I think the 70s.
I bet if you would go ask your dad, and he'd be like, "Yeah, Walter Davis."
Maybe, honestly.
if I were to go downstairs and ask my dad, "Dad, you ever heard of an NBA player called Walter Davis?" Oh yeah, he was a bucket for the Suns.
Yeah.
That's what they would say.
The bucket. And then the Clippers. Never heard this guy. Any guesses?
Clippers. I'm trying to think who was popular on the Clippers before like this generation. The Clippers.
Yeah, right. Who was popular with him?
Who was? I don't know. I legit don't know.
Randy Smith.
Who?
Yeah, I know.
Where did he play?
That's kind of sad. Like I would have thought at least somebody from the 2010s Clippers or the 2000 Suns would broken like their records, but I guess with the 2000 Suns they were just so balanced. But even still, like Amari, at least, man, Devin Booker's gonna like
blow through them records.
Yeah, thrash that record. And Clippers, I don't even know who would in the near future, depending on free agency and all that. But yeah, whatever. Yes, I thought that was kind of interesting. Let's see. It's a Shi-Fi podcast episode 89. Yes, it's 89. All right, let's see. All right, brackets are out. Do you have any thoughts, first impressions, March Madness, surprises, takeaways? North Carolina is a number 9 seed or 8 seed, whatever.
Yeah, I did see that. We play Wisconsin first round. I was sure Illinois is a number 1 seed, man. I had not heard about Illinois really all season long.
Me neither. I even asked my dad this morning. I was like, "Do you know of anything with Illinois?" Like, I've never considered them top. Same thing with Alabama, number 2. Being a number 2 seed, I wasn't that aware of them.
All I know is they won the SEC championship. I didn't know that moved them up to a 2 seed.
Yeah, and Houston is also a 2 seed.
I expected that.
Yeah, what?
One side of the bracket's weird. You have Gonzaga and Iowa as your top 2 seeds. I never would thought in a March Madness tournament I'd see Iowa and Gonzaga be the top 2 teams in their side of the bracket.
I think Iowa's the best 2 seed in the bracket in this, because I feel like Iowa's been kind of up there consistently.
Oh yeah,
and they're number 8 overall, being with Gonzaga on the same section as Gonzaga. Grand Canyon made the tournament. I've always seen them in commercials. I don't even know that was actual university.
I still get flyers from them. Come get your master's degree from Grand Canyon University. I probably could pull up some emails right now.
I was really confused. I don't know. I feel like my biggest takeaway was I feel like there's a big gap between the number 1 seeds and the 2 and 3 seeds. But I don't know. I just think that let's see. Texas number 3. I was a little surprised, honestly. Winning the Big 12 when you're already a 12, the number 12 team in the country, I feel like that would raise you at least in the top 8.
Did they win the tourney?
Yeah.
Oh, they'd be Oklahoma State. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I was just kind of I feel like that would at least elevate us to number 8. That was the first time Texas ever won the Big 12 tournament. I did not know that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The ACC tournament is so interesting. There has not been a repeat winner in nearly 15 years in the ACC tournament. With how dominant Duke and Carolina are in that conference, they have not won back-to-back chips.
Dang, that is impressive. But Duke and Kentucky not in it. Very surprising. I think I saw something. First time since 1976. Neither of them have made it.
Yeah.
Texas playing Abilene Christian. Weird. What?
I feel like this year is going to be a year where you're 1 seed dominant.
Yeah. I kind of think that, but I feel like I say that every year, but I think this year, there's no strong 2 seed, I feel like, but that's just me.
We say this every year, but I legit, Houston has a shot to, what was it, last year or the last time they had a tournament? Not last year because they didn't have a tournament. The last time they were a possession or 2 away from beating Kentucky to go to the Elite 8, Final 4, one of the 2.
Houston's had some
good teams.
Almost there. I don't think they've been to the Elite 8.
Yeah, I think it was the Sweet 16 that got bounced.
But I think there was a game where they kind of choked in the Sweet 16 a couple years ago, 3 years ago, maybe
against Kentucky.
Did they lose on the last second or something?
Okay, so actually, I know exactly what you're talking about. So they lost the last time they had an NCAA tournament. They lost to Kentucky on a few bad possessions. They made a few errors. The year before that is that crazy shot that Jordan Poole made to beat them when Michigan went to the title game and lost against Nova. It was that. Yeah, they had like some pretty bad turnovers, and then Jordan Poole hit like a 3/4 shot, or like a deep 3-pointer to send them to the next round and beat them at the buzzer. Jordan Poole. I haven't heard that name.
Yeah. Let's see. Michigan. I saw something where Michigan is one of their crucial players is out.
The point guard.
Yeah. Right. That could be a key. Let's see. Somebody or Michigan State apparently beat like so many good teams the last week. Did you kind of hear about that?
Yeah.
Did they win?
I think Ohio State won the Big Ten tournament, right?
Yeah. Yes. But somebody, what did Dick Vitale said something this morning that was I don't know where he got this from. I don't know. I have to look that up or something. Never mind. So, okay. Do you have any, Final Four? Like, do you have like a Final Four rough draft?
No, I haven't got to see like the whole bracket, but honestly, all right, I'm gonna take Gonzaga. Kyle, if you're watching this, if Baylor does not make the Final Four this year and if they lose to Carolina in the second round, you will be getting blasted. I'm warning you right now. Because right now, it's that if Carolina wins the first game, they're gonna get blasted by Baylor in the second round. But so if they don't win, if they don't make the Final Four, I don't want to hear from you.
Yeah, I think that goes the same with Gonzaga. I feel like if Gonzaga and Baylor, they have to make the Final Four this year to get like any respect for the near short term, long term. They have to. But continue.
Tell me who's in the okay, so in the brackets I have Gonzaga and Baylor. Tell me who's in the other half of the brackets. So I don't say like a duplicate.
The top two seeds. Wait, on the other side of Gonzaga?
Yeah, and Gonzaga and Baylor. Yeah, who's on the other side?
Wait, Gonzaga and Baylor are on opposite.
Well, who are the other two?
Other two. The other two on Gonzaga's, the other section on Gonzaga's side is Michigan, Alabama, and Texas.
Michigan's the 1 seed? Nah, they ain't gonna make it. And you said Michigan, Alabama, and who?
Texas.
Man, that's an awful bracket.
Go pick Bama.
Man.
Yeah, that's a tough section because all right, go ahead, I'll explain, but
who's the 4 seed on that side?
4 seed Florida State.
Man, that bracket. That's how the brackets. Oh my gosh. You know what? Fine. Trilo. If Texas don't make the Final Four for this bracket, this side of the bracket, Michigan's point guard is hurt. Who is good at Alabama? What prospect?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't.
All right, fine. I'll put Texas up there.
But
wow, I'm coming for Shaka if they don't make it. I'm coming straight for Shaka.
And then the other section in the Baylor side is Illinois, Houston, and West Virginia, and Oklahoma State.
You know what? Let's throw back to 2005. Let's put Illinois up there.
Illinois. So what? You have Gonzaga, Texas, Baylor, and Illinois.
Yep.
That's literally what I have in my first impression bracket right now. Because like I'm trying not to pick Texas, like biasly, but
they have no excuse to get through that bracket.
I mean,
I don't want to hear no Alabama. No.
So you can roast Texas if they lose by more than like 6 points in the Sweet 16, then that's like you can curse Texas however you want. I feel like that's like bare minimum. It has to be a competitive Sweet 16 game.
Texas has to make the Elite 8 in order for me to not criticize them.
Come on. I mean,
Look,
Bam was
okay,
number 2 for a reason. Like, I don't know. I don't
Texas.
know.
If we let Avery Johnson, is he still the coach? Is Avery still
Oh
the
yeah,
coach?
I think he is actually. Hey,
If
we
we
can't lose
let,
to Avery.
yeah, exactly.
Um, and on Illinois, I was like, is Houston or West Virginia, are they going to make the Final Four? I don't like. I'm always scared of Houston because I don't want to pick like a mid-major type of team. And West Virginia, I don't know. You never. I don't know.
You remember West Virginia? They had those like teams that would make it like the Sweet 16, like the Elite Eight, like
Yeah.
constantly. That dude that had like no hair, last name Carter was the point guard, Javon Carter.
Oh yeah, I remember that team. I remember West Virginia had this dude in 2008 ish. This white dude named Joe Alexander. Do you remember that
Yeah.
name at all?
Yes.
He was like kind of icy for his and he was like an 8th pick in the draft, which is crazy. Like he was hyped up, and I was never like on like I never thought he was gonna be good in like NBA, but I don't know. They just have there's some random players always in college basketball that seem to stick around forever. But yeah, then I have Gonzaga and Baylor. Gonzaga winning. That's just like a pre-rough draft.
No, it's time.
I'm still debating.
It's time for Mark Few to win one. This is the year where Mark is like, all right, we got to win this.
This got to. Yeah, because I feel bad like for Gonzaga and Baylor from last year too. Mm-hmm. Like this could have been like a rematch, like a hyped up type of situation.
No, I got a bone to pick with you because you left me. Not that you left me, I don't care about that. There is no way you're gonna sit here and try to tell me that Kentucky is a better all-time program than the University of North Carolina.
I mean, they're very in the same ballpark.
Okay, they might be catching up due to like what they've done since
they're
like
not catching up. They're there.
They are not there.
Yes, they are.
They are not there.
Okay, so like when I say they're in the top 5. I think the top 5 is a very
okay. Fine, I will give you that.
But you think like there's a gap like
between Kentucky and North Carolina? Absolutely, absolutely. The only team that's in the ballpark with Carolina are UCLA and Duke, and you will never change my mind about that.
In the ballpark of North Carolina?
Correct.
Is UCLA and Duke.
Yes.
UCLA, Duke. I'm just
okay. My top 5 programs all time in no order: UNC, UCLA, Duke, Michigan State, and Kentucky.
Okay, Michigan State. Interesting. Nah. I mean, I'd have Kansas over Michigan State.
Oh well, Kansas. I forget about Kansas because like the only time we talk about Kansas is basketball. It's like I forget about it.
Yeah, I'm looking. Go ahead.
I'll substitute Michigan State out, put Kansas in.
Yeah, I mean on this list. So on this list, number 1 is Kentucky, like CBS. Number 1 is Kentucky, 2 is North Carolina, 3 is Duke, 4 is UCLA, 5 is Kansas, 6 is Louisville, and then Indiana, UConn, Villanova, and Cincinnati.
How many times like what is his name? Adolph Rupp or whatever his name was. He might not be Adolph, but
Rupp. Kentucky.
Yeah. Adolph. I don't know what
his real name. I think it was. I'm just now connecting the dots. That's funny.
I think his real name was Adolph.
Yeah, Rupp. That's a unfortunate timing. Okay, so Kentucky, it says here. I mean, this list has them like blowing out North Carolina. Okay, Kentucky, 17 Final Fours. Why don't they list like top?
Draft picks is a different story. Carolina doesn't have draft picks compared to like the Kentucky's. Like obviously the last like you can name John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis. You know you can go on about that. Rajon Rondo. Like we don't have that. We have like mediocre basketball players of this like my generation, but like we blow them out the water. Michael Jordan, James Worthy. Like, there's just I can name a top 5 of Carolina that would blow out any team.
Blow out any team. Wait, say that again.
I can name a starting 5 of Carolina that would pretty much
really spicy. Kentucky.
Blow out any team.
You're just hating on Kentucky.
They're overhyped.
I'm gonna blow out Kentucky. It says here, so Kentucky has 8 championships to North Carolina 6.
When was the last time besides 2012 they won a championship?
Well, let me look that up. Well, and then it says, wait, one second. And then Kentucky has 4 runner-ups and North Carolina has 5 runner-ups. I know with recency, of course, North Carolina is like the top program of the 20s.
Yeah, I'm talking about recency.
Recency, yes, of course. Like, let me see. I'm really curious about this Kentucky thing because Kentucky's never been good before John Calipari in our generation. Like, they were just kind of a
average. I mean, we didn't hear about Kentucky till John went there. Like, after the whole like Derrick Rose thing, he left Memphis and went to Kentucky.
Yeah. Okay, so Kentucky championships, 2012, and then 1998 and 1996.
Yeah, we don't even.
Who's the coach? And then 1978, 1958, 1951, 1949, 1948.
Man,
yeah, Adolph Rupp.
Adolph Rupp.
Not to be confused with Adolf Hitler, but because like if you're gonna put UCLA in your ballpark, you got to put Kentucky.
Well,
because
UCLA
what?
Didn't UCLA win more with like John Wooden?
Well, UCLA has 11 championships.
Yeah.
So Kentucky's 8, and then North Carolina's 6.
But like, okay, my thing is like when we talk about like dominance, like the Spurs won 5 in 20 years, so like they're pretty much in contention every single year for 20 years. We don't talk about that with the UK, University of Kentucky. We don't talk about that right now with UNC because the last 2 years have been abysmal for UNC. But besides that, UNC is always pretty much in the picture every year.
Okay. I was gonna say I put the top 5 like in no order. Just wait. Not even a top 5. I think it's just 4: UCLA, Kentucky, North Carolina, and Duke. That's man. Kansas has 6 runner-ups.
Yeah.
Only won 3 times, but they're 3 and 6.
Because Bill Self has lost a couple title games. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, low-key, I keep saying this, man. Bill Self's saving grace is Mario Chalmers. Literally. Because they should not have won that game, and Bill Self should not have a title.
Yeah. I mean, you could kind of say, I feel like with your Kentucky thing, you could kind of say the same thing with Duke because they, before 2015, was it? Wait, have they won 2 this decade?
They won in 2010. Remember the Gordon Hayward almost shot?
Oh, okay.
And then 2015, the Duke starting 5.
But then, like before that, it was like the early 90s with Christian Laettner and all that, right?
They won 2 championships in the 2000s with Shane Battier.
Okay. Well, never mind. I'm down.
Like I think it was like 01, 03 or 01, 02, something like that. Because I know Shane Battier has 2 titles. And then they won, what was it, twice in the 90s?
Yeah. UCLA hasn't won since 95.
Yeah. I mean, they're only up there. UCLA and UK are only up there because of historical facts. I'm thinking more like recency. But like draft picks, like when it comes to like top talent, I ain't going to sit here and say that UNC produces top talent. I ain't going to sit here and say that. You don't go to Carolina to go become NBA ready. That's my stance.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Besides Kobe White's gonna be a nice ball player. I will give him credit for that. We all made fun of him in college. We were like Kobe White, but he's actually kind of nice.
Dang. Kentucky got to be in there, man. You're hating. It's okay.
I want you to go look at a starting lineup of UNC all time and tell me who's competing with that UNC starting five. But look up like top tier talent that come out of North Carolina.
Well, I mean, you could say that with UCLA.
Okay.
I'm sure y'all could blow out all those people in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah, but like UCLA, they had what? Bill Walton. Did Bill Walton go to UCLA? Yeah. I think so. Kareem. That's all I know about the. Where did I go?
Hello? Technical difficulties. You like muted yourself. But hello?
Okay, I don't know what just happened.
You flew off. But
my FBI agent told me to stop talking.
I mean, okay, when I was in my like group, I just include all the years, 30s, World War I, all that. Okay. 5 in no order: UCLA, Kentucky, North Carolina, Duke, and Kansas. That's my 5. And then after that, there's a gap. So you can have your gap before Kentucky, whatever. But interesting. Let's see. It's kind of surprising seeing Indiana up here. They won 5 before 1987.
Is that the last time they won? Is 87?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're tied with Duke with most championships. I actually saw that they fired their coach today, Archie Miller.
Oh, the guy that used to be with Arizona? No, that's Sean Miller.
That's Sean Miller. I think it's Sean's little brother or something. I don't even know where he went first. Yeah. So, let's see. What else with college basketball?
What are your thoughts on? You think Cade Cunningham's going to be the number 1 pick?
Yeah, it's looking like it. I think everybody's just kind of like cumulative type of thing. I mean, I don't even know any other high-rising other players.
Is he going to be a Houston Rocket?
Probably. I mean, whoever wins that lottery. I mean, Houston is trash right now, but 16-game losing streak. That is like the thing about it. They're not even that bad, like roster-wise. Like, golly, they got John Wall. Like, poor John Wall. Like, he fell off.
I think that they haven't won a game since Christian Wood's been injured, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of sad. I think because after the Harden trade, they won like 2 or 3 games in a row, and they were like, we don't need Harden. But yeah, Cade Cunningham. I mean, he's 6'7". He gives me like a buff vibe. Do you get that from him? Like, he looks really buff.
Yeah.
For a point guard, like when you see him, like you think he's like a shooting guard or a small forward.
I watched the second half of the Baylor-Oklahoma State game. Yeah, that was the semifinal game. And like his ability to just take over, and like he was just stronger than everybody else. Like, golly.
Yeah. Yeah, if he's the first pick, he'll be the second, I think, Dallas guy to be picked first overall.
Who's the first?
1990. Do you know? It's not obvious. I don't even know. My dad did. Larry Johnson.
I don't even know.
I don't know who that is. Why do I know who that is? I mean, I know because Dallas. Was he big in college? Larry Johnson, 1990. Cade Cunningham. Yeah, so because like a lot of tall point guards are not buff, of course. So like it would be kind of interesting to see above point guard like this. He can shoot, right? That's what I'm getting a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like it. I just don't know how Oklahoma State got him, honestly.
Yeah. Oh well, no. He told us. He said that the coach of Oklahoma State was the only coach to come watch his high school games.
Oh, that's cute.
He's the only person like recruited him.
Oh, I think I heard something where like they were trying. How was it? When he was a freshman at Arlington Bowie, remember that Kyler Edwards from Texas Tech? He was also at Arlington Bowie, and I think the Oklahoma State coach was trying to recruit Kyler, and then saw Cade and was like, "Oh, he's a freshman," and like gave him a scholarship, something like that. I think that's kind of a cool story. What else college basketball? It's weird because the schedule is really weird this year. Have you like kind of seen it?
It's going to be all in one site, right? All in Indianapolis, if I remember right.
Yeah, all in Indianapolis, and the first and second round is gonna be Friday through Monday, and then second round or second weekend is gonna be Saturday through Tuesday, and then Final Four is gonna be the same old Saturday Monday thing. But it's gonna be odd seeing like watching Elite Eight games on a Monday or Tuesday type of thing. But it was kind of weird seeing like COVID actually ruin some of the teams in this tournament with Virginia and Duke. Kind of sucks for Duke because like, I mean, I think if Duke had beaten like Florida State, that would have been a big maybe get in the tournament type of thing. All of that goes smooth in that little bubble, and in Indianapolis. I mean, I assume it's gonna be like the NBA bubble type of thing.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm curious. Like, are they letting fans, and what percentage of fans are they letting in?
I think it's gonna be very little. I'm just kind of like, I feel like it doesn't seem like it's super strict.
Right. Have you been to a restaurant since like the 100% capacity? Been with?
No. Wait. Oh, I did. Wait, I did not realize it was 100%. It was at Chewy's. I was wondering why somebody was sitting behind me. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it was at Chewy's. Yeah. I didn't even notice, honestly.
Like it really like because I did it too. Like I was sitting there like for a second, I was like, oh man, like this is lit. Okay, it's kind of popping. And I was like, wait a minute, I ain't been used to this in about a year.
Yeah. Yeah, and but yeah, 100%. I guess it's. I mean, low key, I feel like Texas restaurants have been kind of
already at 100%.
Because like, how do you even? What do you call it? Like, it's hard to make that a rule where like, what, you just have a person in there. It's like, this is 50%, or wait, this doesn't look like 75%. You know what I mean? Like type of thing.
Yeah. So like I get it. Like for a couple examples, like when the pandemic first started, at I think it was the TJ Maxx out here, there was somebody that was like at clipboard and they were physically like counting how many people in the store. It's like when somebody that I saw like because I was being nosy. So they'll have like 73 and 2 people walk out and there'll be like 71, and they let 4 people in and be back up at 75. So, but you also have the access like at a restaurant to know how many people are currently in there because you'd be like, oh, table of 4, this table of 2. Like you have that access.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But like also at the same time, to your point, it's like, all right, this family of 8 wants to sit here and eat. Or do we only sit 5 of them and wait for 3 other people to leave and the other party of 3 can eat? Like, you know, like it's a slippery slope.
Yeah. Let's see. What was I gonna say? Oh, since like it's the 1 year anniversary of like COVID. Where were you when like that one night where like the NBA got shut down and
I was at the bar.
Gobert, you were. You were in a public place.
Yeah, the day that happened,
Dang.
it was the last day. They were like, tomorrow the bars are gonna close and everything. I was out. I was going bar hopping.
Dang.
And then like I got that news and I said, I'll order one more.
Right. Wait, you were bar hopping that night?
Yes.
Was that Wednesday night?
No, it was like a weekend.
No, it was Wednesday.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The weekend, like that they were saying stuff was gonna close and I was at a bar. Last Wednesday, last year, where was I? I mean, I might have been bar hopping because I still didn't have a job.
Yeah.
So
But
honestly, I'm gonna say there was a possibility.
gotcha. Yeah, I mean, that was like actually my last couple of days of my internship type of thing. Because I remember coming home and then like I remember the whole Rudy Gobert thing. Because like I remember, because don't you remember like it was coronavirus? Cause it was kind of in the air. Like you heard talks about it like in February. Do you remember that? So I was like, that's gonna be nothing. It's gonna be Ebola. Like, but I remember that got shut down. And I think, yeah, when the NBA shut down, I think that freaked out everybody. I think that's like was like, wow, that's never happened before. And then that next morning, that Thursday and Friday, most people had their high school and then like work, and then it was like spring break time. So it was kind of interesting how like those 2 days was kind of like, oh, who knows, the world might blow up. Like that was kind of an interesting 2 or 3 days there. I don't know, just kind of, I don't know. The adrenaline was definitely up in the air, I feel like. But that was kind of, it's just kind of weird seeing like 1 year now, just kind of reliving what happened last year. Um, let's see. You got any other big topics you want to get off your chest?
Yeah, we'll get to Dak in a minute. Let's see. I had two NBA questions up here. They'll come back. Okay, the first one is I'm trying to decide of the recent years, like since we've been born, we've been able to follow the NBA. What's the worst draft class? The 2013 draft class or the Kwame Brown draft class?
I think definitely 2013. Is that the Anthony Bennett?
There's Victor Oladipo. There's so many bad ones up there. Not that Victor Oladipo is bad. I just remember that. CJ McCollum was in that draft. I'm pretty sure. Who was number one pick? Was that Anthony?
Yeah, Anthony Bennett. But I mean, Giannis was in that pick in that draft.
Okay,
that kind of offsets.
But keep going. It does. Read the whole first round and tell me like who.
Well, top 10: Anthony Bennett, Victor Oladipo, Otto Porter, Cody Zeller, Alex Lynn, Nerlens Noel, Ben McLemore. I remember I liked Ben McLemore. Everybody liked him.
You would be hype over Ben McLemore.
KCP, Trey Burke.
Stop right there. No, sir.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to find. I mean, Victor Oladipo is decent. Like,
stop.
Okay, so there's like this thing. Okay, so only 1, 2, 3. Is that 3? Yeah, only 3 players from the 2013 draft. At least made one All-Star game or an All-NBA team.
So what? Giannis, CJ McCollum.
No, it doesn't even count CJ.
Oh,
dang,
wow. So
he's trash, low key.
He's trash.
I was going to say it. He's never been on an All-NBA team or All-Star.
Yeah, he garbo.
And I guess he can throw him in there 4. But technically only 3. Let's see. Let's go. Was that 2001 NBA draft with Kwame? Yeah. 2001. I mean, you got Tyson Chandler, Pau Gasol.
Stop. The way you said Tyson Chandler was so disrespectful. I mean, you got Tyson Chandler.
I mean, he's an all-star.
Stop.
What? He's good.
Stop. Tyson Chandler?
He's an all-star. I mean,
how many times did he make the all-star team?
As a number 2 pick, I guess.
How many times did he make the all-star team?
One. One time.
Stop.
Weird. I guess that was when he went to the Knicks after the Mavs. Okay. Joe Johnson, Zach Randolph.
Stop.
Gerald Wallace.
Stop.
Tony Parker. I mean,
we're relying on Joe Johnson and Zach Randolph to carry the draft. Stop.
Let's see. I mean, drafts low key, like when you look back at them, like they're not all impressive.
Well, like that was gonna lead to like my next point. Like the top 3 picks of the past draft, I'm like, man, these teams really hit a home run with this team, or really hit a home run with this pick.
Yeah, I've heard great things about every single.
Edwards, Wiseman,
Wiseman,
and Ball.
Because I mean, even in 2002, like Yao Ming, Amari Stoudemire, Caron Butler, and Carlos Boozer. Those are the only all-stars.
That's better than the 03 draft.
02, 01.
01 season. I was not about to disrespect 03 like
that. Let's see. 01. I think 01 would have to be worse than 13 just because we're seeing just with Giannis alone, honestly. But let's see. Do you think that?
Yeah, I would say so, just because not only like Giannis, like those first about 5 out of 6 names that you named, I said, come on, man. Those aren't. I mean, like I don't believe Joe Johnson, Zach Randolph, or Andre Iguodala should be in the Hall of Fame, but that's just my personal opinion.
Andre Iguodala.
Andre Iguodala, he's not a Hall of Fame basketball player.
I mean, well, so I'm looking at this article, and let's see. It says the worst draft class was 2000. I looked at 2 articles, and they both say 2000. So let's see. 2000 was, I think that was Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin, Straw Miles Swift, Darius Miles, Marcus Fizer, Mike Miller. This might actually be worse.
Mm-hmm.
There's
what was that second name? You said Master Swift.
Master Swift, Straw Miles Swift. I remember him from the Grizzlies. He was decent, but he never was an all-star. So there's 1, 2, 3 all-stars from this whole draft in 2000. And 2001 there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can see 2000, I guess. And then it has 2013 as the second worst. 2010 as the third worst.
Was 2010 the Kyrie? No, it wasn't the Kyrie draft, was it? That
was 2011. John Wall.
Okay.
John Wall, Evan Turner, Derek Favors, Wesley Johnson. And then they have the '06 draft class with Bonyani, Aldridge, Adam Morrison, Tyrus
Adam
Thomas,
Morrison.
Sheldon. That was the year where like I think everybody was like, pick the college basketball stars. Tyrus Thomas. I loved Tyrus Thomas at LSU.
Why?
That team wasn't so fun to watch. That was Tyrus Thomas and Big Baby Davis. Like that was a fun team. And then it has 2002. Um, I don't know, but I mean, I remember I was all about I think the 2015 draft class. I was like, oh, it's gonna be the best one ever. This is gonna be '03 all again.
You talking about the Duke starting 5 class?
Wait, not 2015. 2014. I thought it was gonna be. I remember saying 2014 and 2015 draft classes were gonna be the future of the NBA because 2014 was Andrew Wiggins, Jabari Parker, Embiid, Aaron Gordon, Dante Exum, Julius Randle, Zach LaVine. I mean, low key, kind of Jokic, kind of worked out. And then 2015 was D'Angelo Russell, Porzingis, Devin Booker. Yeah,
You should have played with Cat. You should have played with Cat one time on 2K and known that was not going to be the answer.
Yeah. Did I play with them on 2K? I think I do remember.
You used to play with the T-Wolves.
Dang. I did. Cat kind of good.
Cat was good.
Yeah. Wiggins wouldn't do anything. Wiggins wouldn't do a thing.
He still ain't doing nothing.
I wrote it down on this topic. I see this debate every year, and it's like Dallas personal. The Kevin Garnett versus Dirk debate. Why is this a debate? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw Jason Lippert like retweeted something about it.
Yeah, there was something recent about that, and I was like, do people think Kevin Garnett's better than Dirk? Is that normal? Like,
I don't think he's better than him. I mean, they both won one title. I think Dirk ran a franchise. I don't think Kevin Garnett could run a franchise. Like, he didn't consistently stay with the T-Wolves long enough where I could like say that. Yeah. But at the same time, there's so much more to Dirk's game, and he's so much more versatile than KG ever was.
Yeah.
Because like I think the most underrated part about Dirk's game is like KG needed somebody to feed Dirk the ball. Dirk kind of started the whole, the center can run from the top of the key and then drive to the basket, shoot the 3 ball, the fadeaway. Like he kind of created all that. I got to give him credit for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're both like top 6-ish power forwards in the game. Like, I get what they're coming from, but like actually thinking KG is better than Dirk, it's just can't see it. Just can't. I mean, Kevin Garnett wasn't even the Finals MVP in his championship.
Okay. I'm a firm believer that Paul Pierce did not deserve that.
Are you serious?
Yes, just like the MVP. What year was it? KG got snubbed 1 year out of MVP. It'll come back. Oh no! It's the 2008 season where people try to tell me that Paul Pierce was the better player that whole season. He's the best player on the Celtics that whole season. Nah, you were not winning that title without KG. KG was dominant in 2008.
Okay, the final stats, 2008. But I mean, Paul Pierce averaged 22 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. I can see where you're coming from with Kevin Garnett with 18 points and 13 rebounds and 3 assists. I mean, I think just mainly just because it was Paul Pierce's team. Like, it was Paul Pierce's original franchise,
But like at the same time, KG had the responsibility of holding Powell, which Powell was one of the most dominant people in the game at that time.
Yeah.
Like Kobe, Paul Pierce wasn't guarding Kobe. They had Ray do that.
Oh yeah. Didn't they have Tony Allen too?
And Tony Allen. They had the shooting guards. But
No, he was. Oh, he was on this team.
yeah, he was.
Oh, he didn't play much though. I guess that was later. But oh wait. I mean, it's not like obvious or anything. But let's see.
How do you feel about the Dak Prescott contract?
I mean, that's a lot of money. I mean, he definitely won. But that was inevitable. Like the later we were gonna pay him, the more he was gonna make. So I wasn't super surprised. The thing about those contracts, like you can't. What am I trying to say? It's hard to pay quarterbacks that much money and win a lot, or like Super Bowls, or like success.
Yeah, because I agree with you on that, and I'm a firm believer in that. Because like I read the stats of the last 11 Super Bowl winners, the quarterback salary percentage has only been around 11 to 12% of the team's total salary.
Mm-hmm. And I think we saw the first phase of that impact with Patrick Mahomes' contract this offseason, because I saw a bunch of offensive linemen leave, right? Did you kind of see that? And it was just kind of like, okay, they're having to make cuts.
Or like even after like Dak signed, you see we had to make $17 million in cap space by rearranging all of our linemen's contract.
Yeah, there was a lot of rearranging this past couple weeks. I've never seen that much headlines of like this contract was rearranged, or they like put their salary bonus as their franchise bonus, like a bunch of just terms. And I was like, I think, but then we all come back to this whole thing of Tom Brady. Why is the Super Bowl MVP? Why is the greatest player of all time rearranging his contract? There's a reason for all that, So
yeah, I mean, same thing with like one of the receivers, Chris Godwin. Like most people have like a negative connotation about being franchise tagged, but he's like, hey, I'll be franchise tagged as long as I get to stay here and compete for Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I was honestly surprised that they didn't franchise tag Dak again.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like postpone it one more year.
Because at this point, I was like, you guys were holding out for 2 years. What's another year going to do for them?
Just keep franchising them.
He would have made, I want to say it was close to 50 mil if he would have been franchise tagged this season.
Gosh. But did you see the Tom Brady stuff where like he's taking like a lot less?
Yeah, and he extended his contract to I think 20 something.
Yeah, 23.
Yeah.
And then people were just kind of like, that's his secret, It's not that hard. Like, I don't know. It's very do you want that extra 20 million, or do you want to like be very competitive? I don't know. That's who even knows. But because like the Chiefs still won, or like went to the Super Bowl this past year, so in ways it was worth it to have that huge contract. But like just imagine if Patrick Mahomes signed. Did he do like a $500 million? That was his thing.
It was like something ridiculous, yeah.
Let's say it was like $400 million, and then like his offensive lineman. I don't know. I just kind of.
I like me watching the NFL and me being like the person that I am. Like, I truly believe like you invest in your line. So like, because the first person a quarterback thinks when they win a Heisman or some award, they think they're linemen.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that like go to war for them, like battle for them. And like, I do think they're underappreciated just because like they're not physically like going out there and catching the ball and making like moves, but like They're easily the most important position in football. All of them.
Yeah.
D-line and O-line.
Um.
Like you see, Brady didn't get touched really in the Super Bowl at all.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I've kind of seen that as a trend in the drafts. Like offensive linemen are like number one picks. You know, like I think that's a recent trend. Um. But
Like the dude from Texas, he went to a Atascocita high school. Like they're talking he's gonna be a top 10 pick. Cosme.
oh, like this upcoming year.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Like I mean, he ran he said like it's not his goal, but like for a lineman, he ran a 4.8 in the 40.
Okay. We'll see.
And then he benched 225 35 times in a row. Like he's free.
Wow. That's heavy. Can you do that? Yeah, I don't know. What do you think of the contract? Like, just kind of, it is what it is.
So like I was torn in two ways. It's like I respect Dak's mentality. Like I love him. Like I think he represents like, qualities you'd want in every single quarterback. Part of me was like, ooh, take this 2 or 3 year window and trade for Russell Wilson where you don't have to pay him for a signing bonus. And he's only going to take up 11 to 12% of your contract or your salary cap. And your fan base is starving for a championship, and you've underwhelmed people every single year for the last quarter century. Like, let's see what we can do in 2 to 3 years if we invest in the line, get Russell Wilson, see where the ball goes. I'll take the 2 years of the championship window. And then I saw they did that, and I was like, well, I mean, obviously we're not getting Russell anymore, but like, who are we going to be able to go pick up?
Right. I remember seeing those Russell Wilson trade rumors, and I was like, I mean, I'm not against it. Like, I don't know. Right. I was just kind of like, it's not terrible. I think it's just it was more like, who else would we get? Like, besides Russell Wilson, it's like, all right, if we don't get Dak, if we don't get Russell, it's like, then what? We're going to draft another player. It's going to be the whole cycle again.
I've read like things where people are like, well, why didn't the Cowboys just try to like move up in the draft and either get Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields?
What?
I was like, what them guys going to do for us?
But then it's just going to restart the cycle, It's going to be like, all right, well, Trevor's going to get paid in 3 years. So it's just a cycle when it comes to that. And so, I mean.
Well, like, I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, if we can get like an O-line or two, if we would have traded for Wilson, with our receiving core, and we would have had, hopefully Zeke would have stopped being fat and he would condition. and we'd have like Tony Pollard. I'm like, then we just need the defensive side of the ball to do something, just a little bit. Because like, can you imagine Russell Wilson throwing balls to Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Gallup?
Yeah, it'd been nice. It would have been real nice. I don't think that was talked about enough. Like the whole Russell Wilson to Dallas, because I was like, kind of sounds kind of cool, but Dak, man, if I'm Dak, I'm getting paid big time and on the America's team. Like, I'm an icon. Like he's a world icon now. Well, he is, and he's gonna be. Yeah, that's kind of like, if I'm in his shoes, I'm down for that. I think he's going to get paid $75 million his first year. He just gives a what? Just I'd be like, all right, I want $75 million every year now. Gosh, that is crazy. Yeah, who would have thought? Let's see. Anything else in the NFL? I saw this one topic talked about this past week with I think this is talked about every year. Are 3-pointers ruining the game? Like, this style of play.
Oh, you talking about the freaking what's his name? The former GM of the Rockets, Daryl Morey. That whole like
No, I think someone wrote an article. I think they talked about it on. Oh, it wasn't Daryl Morey. Wasn't Daryl Morey?
The former Rockets GM where he made like that like weird like comment that like 3-pointers.
Well, wasn't
Are,
that
like,
a while ago?
I don't even know.
Let's see. Where I saw this. Okay, SB Nation.
Sean, when we going to SaltBae?
SaltBae. When are we talking about it?
Yeah, when we going? When we pulling up?
Oh, the restaurant. I mean, not anytime soon for me, but being on Twitter is funny because it's another example of like everyone has the most polarizing views of that whole thing, the whole SaltBae video situation. Dallas steak meat to another guy or a girl, because like, did you? The times I was on Twitter, I saw the random views of like, oh, I hate straight men, or like, oh, I would break up with my man if I like, because in the whole Amari Cooper situation,
Yeah.
that's because he refused to do it. But then I saw people quote tweeting like, "Oh, I hate straight men; they're insecure." And then I saw like, "Oh, he's smart for doing that." And saw some things where like someone screenshotted like both those tweets, and someone was like, "Men can never win." but yeah, I don't.
Would you let SaltBae put
No,
that
I
into
would
your?
not. I would not because
I don't feel comfortable.
I don't feel comfortable with doing that. Like, it's just I'm not gonna open my mouth up and take some food from a. It could have been from a girl. It could have been Salt Girl. It could have been like anyone. I'm just not gonna just put it on my plate. It's not that big of a deal.
Right. I'll cut it and eat it myself. I got hands.
Yeah, like I can do it. I just like how that's like a kind of a meme now because I've seen so many videos of him doing that to people.
And you agree, you would feel some type of way if like he did it to like your significant other. Like,
yeah, it's just like
I would feel somebody. I would be like, because like he bypassed the dude and then went straight. I'd be like, hold on, wait a minute.
it's just odd. I mean, it's not even like it's not like the I don't know. It's a mix of a lot of things, like just life in general. It's just weird. It's just odd, and it's just odd. I don't know, but yeah, I feel a way. I'd be like, oh, okay, I see how it is, but I don't know. But whatever. Did you have any thoughts about that SaltBae thing?
I have a problem with like. So I'm a firm believer. This is my personal opinion. I don't have to agree with your lifestyle to get along with you or like you. Like I don't have to agree with your lifestyle in order for me to like want to like intermingle, interact with you. Because like we all come from different backgrounds, different experiences. Like it's just a part of life. But like at the same time, like I'm all for whatever makes somebody comfortable. Like let them do. Like like the whole like same thing like peer pressure. Like if we're all like sitting around, I don't know, like we're drinking like a glass of wine, but somebody doesn't want to drink, I'm not gonna be like, hey bro, pour up. Like like it doesn't make somebody like comfortable. So like I'm all for whatever makes somebody comfortable, whatever's gonna have somebody a good time. Then I'm for it. Now, if you're being like demeaning and you're like calling me the N-word because that makes you comfortable, then like there's something that needs to be addressed. But like I don't feel comfortable like we're having somebody put something in my mouth that like I ain't like rocking with. Like I'm not like down for that. Like so a stranger, a waiter at a restaurant, like no.
Yeah. Yeah, I just never Yeah, it's not. You
Now,
can't
you know, like,
define someone else's comfortableness.
right, like it's different because, like, you know, somebody like brought up the point where, like, well, when you go to like the bar or like a club, you order bottle service, and like the the bottle lady like pours it like in your mouth and like all that stuff. And I was just like, I still wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I've never done that. I've never thought of it
Like,
that too.
I still would not do that. I'd be like, all right, let me grab the bottle, you know, like.
Are you talking about like when like the waitresses like pour?
So like, you know, like when you go to like a club, sometimes like you see like the girls over there like with like their bottle service and like they
Yeah,
come with sparklers. Sometimes like, yeah, they're like pour it in your mouth, like the alcohol.
yeah, and that's. I mean, from what I've seen, it's more of like a girl thing, like pouring liquor in your. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You never see just like a normal dude like yeah, like
Hey,
just
hey,
like
alcohol.
you just don't see it. It's just a trait of straight normal men. I mean, um, just how it is. It's just
like
how it is.
like it's different. Like, you know, like we're like trying drinks, be like, hey bro, can I try your drink? See if I like it. Say I'm gonna get it. You know, like that's different. But ain't no like open up your mouth, pour it up in there, like, you know.
Yeah. um, interesting. Wait, this reminds me of a topic. I just want to talk. Let me see. It's kind of a hooliganish thing. We'll see.
Okay.
So like there was like a weird the same thing that happens on Twitter, it actually happens on TikTok too. So like there was like a debate on like transphobia. So in the community, there was like the situation of some people in trans culture was calling straight men transphobic because they wouldn't date. Okay, how do
Okay.
you know what I'm
I feel
trying to
like
say?
I, they call you transphobic because you would not date somebody who was a woman and transformed into a man.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I knew this would happen. I knew something like this would happen because
The world we live in.
I see it. Like I get where they're trying to come from. Like I know they're trying to shoot their shot. Like, but it's just not gonna go. Like it's just not gonna happen. And so the straight community came up with this term called super straight. Have you seen anything about this? It's called super straight.
What
And the colors are orange and black. This is an
this
actual
is not
thing.
this is not a real thing.
No, it's a real thing.
There's no such. I have. If I go on Twitter right now and type in hashtag super straight, I better not see nothing about that.
You will. Let me see. All right, super straight. Uh, Twitter. Yeah, this kind of.
Man, send that to my direct message. Let me see this.
It's
Let me peep this.
um,
Let me see what they talk about, man.
but it's just confusing. I gotta find a better stuff. But yeah, I don't. It's an actual conversation. It's like kind of interesting.
So like, is super straight like you wouldn't like experiment at all? Like, what is super straight?
Super straight means like you're not dating trans at all. You're just dating a biological woman. Like as
So
a
isn't that just straight?
no. Well, okay. So there's straight. Straight is just like extremely straight. Like I'm super straight from their terms. From their terms.
Oh my God, I need you to get a board.
Chalkboard.
All down for me. I need a Prezi, a PowerPoint.
This is it's just a miscommunication type of thing because just a little. I'm not saying all percentages of these communities, but there's a percentage of the trans community that thinks is transphobic of the straight community to like not gives a trans woman or whatever it is a chance. Like I think that's the thing. Like, oh, you're not even gonna give her a chance. I'm just like, I don't even want to mess with it. And then that could be discrimination. It's just a lot of things. It's a can of worms. It so many things could be happening. But hey, it's just how it is, But yeah, it's just
I got some research to do tonight.
super straight is like just straight up. You just don't mess with the trans world, like dating wise, of course.
But like, I'm just gonna stop trying to figure this out.
But
okay.
no, like they're saying like super straight means you're dating a biological woman, and that's that. Like biological woman that acts like a woman is just a woman, So that is super straight. That's just hella straight.
No, man. You keep throwing the word straight around. We all love them.
So okay. Let's see. Okay, let's try to make a conversation. So if there is no term, I'm not trying to defend them. I'm just being funny, but
it's not even about defend. I'm just trying to comprehend, not defend, not argue, not debate, just straight comprehend.
Yeah, but okay, there's no term for, well, maybe there. But yeah, I thought straight was just this normal dating.
But like, couldn't it be like classified as like experimentation or like curious or like bisexual? Can you put that in the bisexual category?
Yeah, because bisexual I think is a very wide world.
Yeah, so therefore I feel like there's no like general definition of bi besides like you go both ways. Like you could like date a man or date like a woman, but like you could intermingle that into bisexual, right?
Yeah.
Because like if you're a man and you're dating somebody that was a woman but is now a man, like couldn't you say you're bisexual?
Yeah.
Right? Or is that like too like far of thinking? Or would you just say that you're gay because they're now a man?
Yeah,
even though they
I was
were
thinking that too. It's just gay.
Like,
I'm
like confused.
Yeah, I don't know. So anybody listen to this, I'm extremely ignorant in this topic, so whatever.
Saying I do not I don't want to say I don't understand, but I still
I know my role. I stay my lane.
Yeah, I struggle to understand the terms, so I just choose to be respectful of the way somebody wants to live because I am unaware. I think that's the proper term to say. I am unaware of what goes on in that community, so I am uneducated in that aspect to speak knowledge and facts on that.
Oh yeah.
And I am perfectly fine in 2021 admitting that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't want somebody to get their feelings hurt or think, I rock a certain way or like come at my Twitter DM handles. Like,
yeah.
If you want to have an open conversation, I'm more than welcome to. But right now, I truly just don't understand all the lingo.
Yeah, ditto. I mean, it's almost, there's so much lingo that's it's a little humorous. And I feel like everybody would agree with that. But yeah.
Like even within like my company, like I don't even understand like their lingo. Like they be talking like you want to be an ARM or ARM and like all this other stuff. I'm like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
Like
and
I feel like
what? Oh, you just don't see it as much. I don't see much like what am I trying to say?
I get what you mean because like it's not as open and like prevalent. I do think it's all about your geography. Like, so prime example, like if we were in Los Angeles, California, San Francisco, we should probably be a little bit more educated because like it's probably much more upfront than what we're accustomed to. But like here in Texas, a lot of people in that aspect don't feel comfortable coming out of the closet, using that term, but like because it's not as welcomed and like we're very old school and traditional here just as a state that a lot of people like hide their true identity, which is sad and I think is an issue. People feel like they can't be themselves, but like I try not to be too hard on myself about this topic because where I was raised and where I live, we just did not see that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll vibe with anybody.
Like if you want to go out for drinks and talk about it, hit up my DM.
Yeah.
You want to go out to dinner and talk about it, hit up my DM. I'm willing to sit down and have a conversation and be respectful and genuine about it. But all of this, we laugh about this just because like that's just who we are. It's just like, like we can't take things seriously sometimes. Like I don't understand the lingo.
No, the term super straight is hilarious. Like, I mean, everybody laughs about it on TikTok. It's not like crucial. But yeah, it's a little confusing. I think a lot of people will ignorantly admit that. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
I did not watch the Grammys. The Grammys last night, so do not ask me a single thing. Grammys. All I know is Meg won an award, and that's it. That's the only thing I
know. I mean, it's same old. Just kind of they just go for whoever's trendy. I think the most absurd one was record of the year. It was the Billie Eilish song called "Therefore I Am." Mm-hmm. It wasn't even the one song that I just can never get the lyric or the title. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? That's that song. You know what I'm talking about. It wasn't even that song. So, well, I mean, I won it over like Rockstar, Say So, Savage. Yeah, so, and Billie Eilish won like 10 Grammys last year. So it's like, y'all were given, this is like a throwaway song for Billie. Taylor Swift won another album of the year. Whoop-de-doo. Can't name one song out that album.
I didn't realize she dropped an album until you just told me.
Really? Jeez.
Dead serious.
I
gave up on T Swift a long time ago.
Yeah, I think it's her third album of the year. She's entering like GOAT conversations. Best rap album. I mean, it was a 40-year-old made that list. Honestly, Nas finally won a Grammy. His first one 20 years later, but it's called performances were actually kind of cool. I like them, but yeah, I don't know. It was kind of bleh again. Let's see. I was gonna talk about this. I know this was like big news last week. Let's see. You know, the whole COVID vaccine situation with LeBron, Stephen A. You got any topics or thoughts about that?
Like I saw Stephen A. get the first round, I think, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about Bron.
No, because, well, you don't know what?
I don't know about Bron. Like, I don't know.
Well, he was saying, like, he's keeping that conversation private with his family and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I just know, like, that's always, like, a sensitive topic in, like, the minority culture. Do you have, like, thoughts about that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, my mom, not my parents. I should just say my mom. She's, like, pushing me to get it, like, right now. Like, I got a text today that was like, then yes, if you want to know if local vaccinations are available, like, in your area, which, like, I get because usually we're the last one that has access to it. It's like, I understand, like, why people are, like, in the minority community, like, so fast to, like, go get it.
Yeah.
But, like, for me right now, like, I'm looking to reevaluate come summertime and, like, think about that. Just, like, keep that in-house. Like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. I'm not going to post on social media about it. Mm-hmm. Like, that's like my time frame right now. But, like, I think to so many people, obviously I want the world to go back to normal just like anybody else, but it almost seems like everything we do now that's like everybody should do is like for a trend. It's
Yeah.
very like trendy and like everybody's like posting their like their COVID like vaccination like stickers like, and I get it, like you want to spread awareness, you want to like educate the people, but like I truly question people's intention when they post things on social media. I'm like, are you doing this to genuinely help somebody? You're just doing this to say like you're cool and you got it too.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope that trend does kind of like slow down. Yeah. I don't know. I can't believe we made vaccines trendy. That's crazy. Dang, that's interesting. But yeah, I don't really have any comments on it. But let's see. Are you sad Jennifer Lopez and A-Rod broke up?
Didn't even know that's a business.
I'm sad with all these celebrities breaking up. Kim and Kanye, Will and Jada, whatever they're doing. Yeah, they can entangle. But let's see. I had this interesting topic. Let's see. How do I say this? I've always had a weird perspective on the. Have you ever heard this quote? It's run down to the ground at this point. This quote of like, you're the average of your 5 friends, or like if you're around 4 millionaires, you'd be the 5th millionaire. Have you seen those quotes? Like, you've never heard those quotes before? What?
I don't know who you're talking. I don't know who's in your circle. You're talking.
That's like famous people say that too. Are you serious? You've never heard the quote of like, you're the average of your 5 closest friends?
I've heard. Okay, so like I've never heard that saying specifically. I would say like I've heard similar like meaning in the sense of your success will end up being around like who your 5 closest friends are. Like I've heard of that before.
Oh.
I've never heard of like average. Like, are we going for like? I guess when they say that and I hear that, like basically like you're supposed to surround yourself with like ambitious, goal-minded people, and like you're gonna end up being just like them because like who you are, who you hang out with, kind of thing. But like I've never heard of the average comment.
Oh yeah.
So like, what's the meaning behind it?
I mean, it's just like I mean, it's in that world that you're saying like, oh, if you hang out with these people, you're gonna like become those people. But I've always kind of been like, because I mean, we all have different definitions of success, and there's so many factors in that world. And I don't know, personally, I just don't care about like success, and I don't know, it's just kind of, I feel like you'd be kind of miserable trying to like judge that from your friends. Like, it's kind of ugh.
Well, like I agree with that because like number one, I don't like measuring myself to somebody else, like because obviously you've heard the quote before, like comparison is the thief of joy, especially like in terms of social media. Like I'd be like, oh dang, Shy's in Cancun, Cabo, like doing also like I ain't doing nothing. My like go like you get down on yourself about life and stuff like that, of course. But I think for me, I have my own pedestal of success and like what I'd want out of like this life. But, like I hold myself to that standard. And sometimes I catch myself saying like, "Hey, you're being too hard on yourself. You're gonna have like bumps and bruises along the road. Like it's okay. Let those things like let it grow you." But like I don't ever look at somebody else and be like, "I'm not on their level. What's wrong with me?" Like I don't look at my like, oh, they're doing that. Oh, they're driving this. Like, why am I not doing this? Like, am I not pushing myself hard enough? Because like I'm a firm believer that everybody blossoms at different times because some people have to learn other life lessons before other people. But at the same time, you'll never truly be happy. You'll never truly be successful. You keep comparing yourself to the next.
Mm-hmm. That's bars. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Just It's just an icky world.
But like, it's like everybody has like a different like life path. Like, so like I'm like, you guys are so caught up in like comparing yourself to somebody else, but like, how do you know like they were supposed to go through that to get to where you are? Like, how do you know yours isn't coming, or like you've overlooked yours? Like you missed that like moment. Like I said, like one thing I think I told you before, like the way I look at it myself, like for success, I'm like, I don't ever want to feel like I've missed my opportunity or window to be successful.
Yeah. Window opportunity.
Because like, I don't know, like I'm just a firm believer in, I really feel like in life there are about 10 to 15 choices you will make that ultimately decides who you are and what you'll become.
Dang, 10 to 15.
10 to 15 choices in your life.
Where'd you get that number from?
Huh?
That number from?
I just picked it up out of my head. That's just a Josh Barnes line.
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting. Sure that.
I feel like if you think about it, like we've made some of those choices now. We'll have to make some of those choices within the next year, within the next 5 years. So like, I truly feel like there's 10 to 15 choices you'll make in your lifetime that ultimately decide your fate.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, this life is long-ish. I mean, you always hear stories about people like kind of blossoming in their 50s or 60s or 40s. Yeah.
Well, like, I think our generation has, like the get rich quick scheme. We have that. We're thirsty for that pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
But most of these people, like Mark Cuban, like all these guys, they didn't get wealthy into their like you said, in their 40s or like their 50s. Like it takes time to build.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, you just never know. I mean, I personally, I always kind of like just say, allow space for you to, blossom or whatever in your life. Like, I never want to be long term, just like going, like if I'm employed somewhere, just going there, coming back home, and then like watching TV, and then going to sleep. Like I don't do that. Because everybody's kind of like 9 to 5. When we're like, I don't want to do a 9 to 5. Okay, I mean most people are gonna do it anyway, but like you can do a 9 to 5, but still allow like
your
like personal things to do, or like 1 or 2 hours here and there, or take a Saturday to like actually go hard and I don't know, just I mean, go ahead.
There's a good like rock quote, and like that's one thing like I push myself on. Like, like I'll watch like an NBA game because like it's good to like decompress for like an hour or two. Like I stopped watching TV directly after. Honestly, I stopped watching. I'll give you credit for this. Like I stopped watching TV because I watched a lot of TV like when I came home in high school, like in college, because I see you did it, and like I found other ways to like entertain myself besides like coming home flipping on the TV. Of course, it was easier when we lived with like 6-7 guys, but you want to play Mario Kart, like blah blah blah. Like I don't like I haven't turned on the TV in my room in months.
Dang.
Like it's been months. Okay. But like tonight, like I'll watch like the Lakers game in here in the room I'm in, but like my TV in there, like I can't remember the last time I turned it on. Dang. But like for me, like there's a rock quote that like I tell myself, it's like along the lines of like, like you work 9 to 5, you come home, you watch TV, you just sit down, you don't do anything. It's like you're not tired, you're uninspired. And like that's how like I live.
Yeah. Like and you can really hack the system if your 9 to 5 is like somewhere in the ballpark of your like personal things, which like I'm kind of trying, but that could really help too. But yeah, just kind of just allowing yourself just to have the opportunity to just develop somehow, some way. I was gonna say, but yeah, I don't know.
Also, I think for me, like it's like finding ways to like entertain like yourself just besides like technology. Like this week. Like, I want to start going on walks because like I have early man shifts. Like I had to be at work at 5:30, but like, like it's like coming home, like going on a walk, going on a run, going to play tennis. Like there's like ways like you can entertain yourself without having like technology because like we're so surrounded by technology all the time that like we need to get away from it.
Yeah, that's true. The last thing I'll say, I think look at this Shaq quote too about I feel the same exact way. He's always like when he sees something cool and stuff like that, he's like, oh, I want to do that like myself. And I was like, oh yeah, I kind of like when I see something cool, I'm like, oh, I want to do that too. Like try to imitate that.
That's how I felt with like tennis. I did not know how to play tennis worth the dang before I took it like the semester that we graduated. But now I'm like, oh, this is kind of like lit. Like I actually want to like be better at this, like be competitive, like in it, like learn a new task. Like, I've never been good at building ever. Like I am not Bob the Builder. That is not me. But like I had to do like some projects this weekend where like I actually like sat there and like had the patience and like really like built some stuff. Like I built like a TV stand and like a nightstand, like all that stuff. I'm like, like this is something that I want to get better at.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, it was about it for that. Last topic, we can get out of here. Chris Paul or Steve Nash?
I feel like I asked you this question before.
It was like kind of influenced from last. Just top point guards.
Chris Paul.
Okay. Dang.
Chris Paul.
Over Steve Nash?
Yes. Look, I get it. He won his 2 MVP. he was amazing. He made the conference final, I think, 3 times in his career, all that stuff. But like, if I want somebody to get me a bucket and be a floor general that is dynamic and changes the game drastically, I think Chris Paul does it at a higher level than Steve Nash.
Yeah.
Look at every team that Chris Paul has left. They've had the LeBron effect. They've been terrible. And every team that he goes to, he elevates. The Hornets. He made the Clippers a relevant franchise.
I know.
He
went to the conference finals once.
Okay, that's not. He has not been surrounded by the players that Steve Nash has had, and that's correct. Besides James Harden, give me another superior teammate that's on the same level as Amari Stoudemire and Grant Hill. And Grant Hill, stop.
Blake Griffin was kind of nice. 2011, 2012.
Stop.
Okay, I see the point.
No. Okay, I can understand if you were like talking about like this past couple of years, Blake Griffin, where he could shoot the 3 ball and he actually had a mid-range jump shot. Yeah. He didn't have that when Chris Paul first got to LA for the Clippers.
Yeah.
He was just a pick and roll guy that just dunked and was super athletic.
I feel that. The point guard position is always like the hardest to like, when somebody's like, oh, what's the top 5 point guards? There's so many point guards that is so tough. Like, it's not like, I don't think like shooting guards, small forwards, like, you know what I kind of mean? Like point guards, there's so many to count. So I don't know. Let's see. I feel like Steve Nash also had like a very short prime. Like, okay. Well, he was really elite.
He bossed him in his 30s.
Yeah. Like, he was really elite for like 5 years. Like, great.
Yeah, I do think the Mavericks messed up that whole Steve Nash Dirk deal.
Yeah.
They really did.
But, man, just imagine. That would have been some crazy teams. Yeah. Well, that's about it. If you have any other last-second topics.
You really think Steve Nash is better than Chris Paul?
I mean, I don't know. I have to look at it a little bit more. I'm a stats guy. That like those 4-5 years where he had like 12 assists a game was crazy.
I think the most underrated part about Chris Paul's game in this whole aspect of being compared to Steve Nash is defense. Chris Paul is superior on the defensive end.
Yeah. That is true. Okay,
Look at how many all defensive teams Chris Paul's made on defense.
um, let's see. I bet
Compared to
it's
Steve.
like, I bet it's like 5.
Compared to Steve, that's a lot.
Yeah, he's been on the defensive